Okay, so I thought I'd talk about Dave Chappelle's new stand-up special, Sticks and Stones, that's on Netflix. A lot of videos on YouTube talking about how the special is amazing and it puts the woke media in its place. And SJWs can't handle the special, and it has a negative score on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is almost 100%. And that's all well and good. But I think people are getting way too excited about that. And they're not actually dissecting his stand up special at all. And they're just seeing it as a victory over the woke media and the SJW media journalists. And no doubt, Dave Chappelle's special got under their skin. No doubt. But I'm going to be completely honest. After watching the special and thinking it over, I don't believe this is Dave Chappelle's best special at all. I don't even think it's top three. I think Killing Them Softly is still number one, and his last Netflix special is a little bit better than this one. And there's some good moments in Sticks and Stones. The faggot joke is hysterical. When he screams faggot, it's fucking hysterical. I mean, I was dying when he did that. That felt like very classic Dave Chappelle. But there were a bunch of times during the special where I wasn't laughing at all. And I was actually a little bored in some spots because it really felt like Dave Chappelle was just trying to get a rise out of the media. Because Dave Chappelle's a very smart man. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows by saying certain jokes in a certain way, he's going to get a lot of media attention. They're going to try to attack him, and that will only get people more interested in his special. And it's essentially free advertising for him. And he knows that going in before he even starts writing the special, especially after his last Netflix special, which got backlash as well from these same journalists. So Dave Chappelle, he already knew that going in. He already saw that he was going to get backlash no matter what. So he leaned into that. And I feel that it hurt his special. It hurt his jokes because he was less focused on making it funny and more focused on what is going to get under these people's skin. I think that's what he was more focused on. And it was a little disappointing because Dave Chappelle is definitely one of the greatest stand-up comedians of all time. And even, this new Sticks and Stones special, this is still like, one of the best comedy specials in the last year for sure. And it was shocking during the special to hear a certain joke, and that was the LGBTQ joke where he's talking about all the letters and stuff like that. And it was shocking to hear that one because I've heard it before from another comedian. And I know that Dave Chappelle didn't steal the joke. It's probably a case of Cryptomnesia where he heard the joke a long time ago and he forgot it, and then he started writing this joke and he thought he came up with a new joke. And it is told in a different way, but it's structurally the same type of joke as Owen Benjamin's joke. And for those that don't know, Owen Benjamin's another comedian that has been attacked by these same types of social justice, woke journalists and stuff. And years ago, he made the same exact joke. And I'll play Dave Chappelle's clip, and then I'll play Owen Benjamin's clip, and you could see the similarities.
You know, you hear all those letters together all the time, LBGT, LBGT, and you think it's just one big movement. It's not. All those letters are their own movement. They just travel in the same car together. So the G's are just driving the car. Of course, next to the G's in the passenger seat is the L's. Everybody likes the L's, except for the G's. I don't know what that's about. I just know the G's don't like them that much. The only thing that breaks the tension between the L's and the G's are the B's in the back seat. If it's one thing that the L's and the G's agree on, is that the B's are fucking gross. They seem greedy to the L's and the G's, you know what I mean? They're just sitting in the back seat like, yeah, man, I'll fuck anybody in this car. What's going on, man? And sitting next to the B's, all the way in the back seat by themselves, looking out the window. That's the T's. Everybody in the car respects the T's, but everyone also resents the T's. It's not the T's fault, but everyone in the car just feels like the T's are making the trip take longer.
This is who I feel bad for, because you got the LBGT, right?
Yeah.
There's more every day, I know. But I'll tell you when it happened. It all started with the L's. And the L's are great. No one has a problem with the L's. So the L's were like, L's, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, L's, great. You guys are really cool, you're great dinner guests. Because they love knick-knacking. Like, they always have interesting magnets. You know, it's like a Sylvia Plath poem on a mug. Like, they're good people. And then the G's came in. And the G's are cool, but they're male, so they're a little more aggressive, but they're a blast, you know. They're like, hey, we're the G's. What are you guys up to? They're like, you know, we're facing some discrimination. Why don't we team up? You guys have the Subarus, we got, like, raves. And we're pretty ripped, and we're fun, we're hilarious. So let's do that. You know, we're a little unpredictable. We might have a coke problem, but let's all team up. And the L's are like, great. And at this point, everything's going great. And then the B's came in. The B's threw people for a loop, because you never really know if you can go camping with them, but they're cool. Like, you know, they're like, we'll bang anybody. They're like, anybody? They're like, anybody. And at that point, everything's going good, and then everything changed with the T's. The T's came in, right? And they're like, hey, we're the T's. And they're like, hey, what's going on with you guys? They're like, yeah, we're being discriminated against. And everyone's like, oh, we'll protect you, T's. And they're like, yeah, so let's all chop our cocks off. And everyone's like, hey, whoa, man. What's going on with you? They're like, no, I'm going to chop off my cock, and now gender doesn't even exist. A 4-year-old can be a T. Everyone's like, dude, can we kick out the T? They're like, no, he's already brought the Q's, the A's, and the I's. And they're like, we're gonna burn this bitch down. And you go all the way back to the L's, and they're like, we should have just knitted sweaters. Oh, fuck, that might be a fucking great joke, guys. I started writing that yesterday.
Now, as you can see, it's not identical, but it's pretty much the same exact idea. And it is just different enough to make the jokes, you know, slightly different, so it's not exactly plagiarism. And even though Cryptomnesia is not the worst kind of plagiarism, it is technically plagiarism, but if it's unintentional, I think that can be forgiven. But this goes back to the feeling I had watching the special, and that's Dave Chappelle got complacent. You know, he didn't put as much work into writing the jokes as he should have, because he knew certain phrases and certain wording of jokes would definitely trigger, for lack of a better word, the media pundits, and that would definitely get people to watch his special and give him a bunch of free advertising. And I feel like he was more focused on that. And you know, when you're watching the special, his demeanor seems I want to say it's not upbeat, it's a little down. He doesn't seem like he's excited to be there. And when you compare it to a special like Killing Them Softly, you could tell that Dave Chappelle was way more excited to say those jokes in that special compared to Sticks and Stones. And once again, I do want to say that I did think most of his new special was funny, but there were times where I was bored, and I was very surprised to hear very similar jokes, because that's something I would expect from a comedian like Amy Schwimmer, only she's way more egregious. She will straight up steal jokes word for word. The joke that Dave Chappelle had that was very similar to Owen Benjamin's, it's not exactly stealing, but the similarities are very striking. And it definitely pulled me out of the special. And it is partly a reason why I think this is not his best special, because he's had some hysterical specials in the past, and he's just a crazy good comedian. But I felt in this one he was definitely a little bit complacent, was way too preoccupied with getting a rise out of people instead of focusing on the joke writing. And I'm not a comedian. I just watch a shit ton of stand-up specials for the longest time. So I've heard, tens of thousands of jokes. And this special just didn't feel like it was up to snuff with the rest of his stuff. But yeah, that's it. Comment below. Let me know what you thought of Dave Chappelle's new special. Try to put the political agenda aside and really look at what his special was. And think about how this type of special that he did, think about how it's going to be perceived in like 10 years from now. Are any of these jokes going to hold up? Like Killing Them Softly? I mean, that special still holds up today. That's still hysterical shit. But yeah, that's all I got to say for now. Comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye.
Open and shut case, Johnson. I saw this once before when I was a rookie.
Apparently this nigger broke in and hung up pictures of his family everywhere. Well, let's sprinkle some crack on him and get out of here.